Made in Hollywood.
Hey guys, I'm here with Ed Hoxie, the Senior Vice President of Production, and Mike Trainotti, the Senior Vice President of Technical Services here at Paramount Studios. We're going to get a demo of Arrival on Blu-ray and 4K UHD. I can already see the difference.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, we've been doing Blu-rays for about 10 years now, and since we started doing UHD in the last year, we've really liked what this is showing us.
Yeah, I mean, HD has been sort of around for a long time, and it's sort of based off of technologies that were around when CRT TVs, those old big tubes, were, 80s and 90s. And so the newer technology sort of takes advantage of the higher dynamic range and the additional colors sort of now available in the new formats, as well as the additional resolution, which really helps a lot.
So is the 4K UHD a completely different disc than the Blu-ray disc?
Yes, absolutely. Because the technology has grown, there's so much more information on that 4K UHD for the light, the color, and everything, that we actually have a different format that does that.
So it's important to note for our audience that what they're seeing right now, it may not actually look that much different, correct?
If you're capturing it with the camera that's not inherently 4K or high dynamic range, the images will be closer than they are in real life. And when you're actually compared to when we're actually sitting here viewing.
So what you guys are seeing right now may not look exactly what we're seeing right now.
Correct. You're not capturing it, and then you're also actually not playing it back either. On most TVs at home aren't HDR at this moment. So yes, you have to have the capture and the playback in order to get what you're seeing today.
The Senior Vice President of Technical Services works to ensure that the integrity of a movie's image is maintained from theatrical distribution to home distribution. Michael Trainotti studied recording engineering in college. Early on in Mr. Trainotti's career, he served as an intern at James Cameron's production company, Lightstorm Entertainment, and currently works at Paramount Pictures.
Hi, it's Mike Trainotti, Senior Vice President of Technical Services for Paramount Pictures. You're watching Made in Hollywood. Here's a scene from Arrival.
They need to see me.
Dr. Banks? Are you insane?
Now that's a proper introduction.
As Senior Vice President of Technical Services and using Arrival as an example, what are your responsibilities?
Our department is primarily here to make sure that the talents, the directors, the producers, the director of photography, that their vision is maintained throughout the entire process. So what they've seen through the camera lens, we can get as close to that as home and make sure it doesn't degrade through the process.
More objects have landed around the world.
This is one of 12. I'm never going to be able to speak their words.
Got 2 days. Figure something out.
Vice President of Technical Services just sounds very broad. It sounds like a very broad title, like maybe you actually do a bunch of different things. What is your normal day at work like?
So in my area, technical services, I actually oversee 3 different things. I oversee mastering, which is the process of maintaining that integrity of the content through the process, building all those source materials that are used. Another part of it is called post services, which is sort of our on-lot facilities. We're actually part of a vendor to ourselves for a lot of this stuff, but we do use a lot of third-party companies. And then the third area is called media services, which mastering builds all of this content. Media services then takes that content, prepares it for release to distribute it to companies like Apple, Vudu, Amazon, Netflix, through those pipelines.
Everything you're doing there, I have to explain to a room full of men whose first and last question is how can this be used against us?
What advice do you have for anyone who may want a career like yours?
Definitely love the technology and embrace it, because when you're watching movies at home and you love watching movies, what you find out when you really work on the movies is it's not as glamorous as you think it is, right? And on the technology side of that, it's even less glamorous. It's actually more stressful because, again, it's maintaining that look and feel. You need to love photography. You have to love audio. You have to love just getting in and tinkering with stuff, building things from scratch, trying things, for the first time, right? But it's very rewarding because you start to see everything you do, out in the market, or you hear people talking about something you did, they don't have no idea you were involved. You're like, we did a good job, you know?
What does it say?
Weapon.